The political reality is it has been more than 1 year since the United States Senate passed a comprehensive immigration reform bill with 68 votes, 14 Republicans joining the Democrats in a bipartisan effort. I know a little bit about this bill because I joined the group that wrote it. 4 Democrats, 4 Republicans sitting across the table. On our side, Chuck Schumer of New York, Bob Menendez of New Jersey, Mike Bennett of Colorado. On the Republican side, John McCain of Arizona, Jeff Flake of Arizona, Lindsey Graham of South Carolina, Marco Rubio of Florida. We sat in this room, many rooms I should say, over a period of months and hammered out a bill, comprehensive bill that deals with many of the issues that are behind the tragedy I just described to you. That's something that we ought to acknowledge is part of our challenge today. That 1 year has gone by and the House of Representatives has refused to even call this bill for consideration. Now, I'm pretty proud of what we did and what we wrote, and I don't think there are many pieces of legislation that bipartisan that have the support of business and labor and religious groups of every denomination. They all supported our bill. I'm proud of that fact. I served in the House. I know that they have some pride of authorship, and they may want to do their version of the bill. That's okay. But doing nothing is not okay. It's not acceptable. We have a broken immigration system. Senator Cornyn of Texas said as much himself. And if we are going to deal with the problem at the border today with these children, if we're going to deal with the problem of 11 million or more undocumented people in America, many of whom have been here for long periods of time, may live in a household where everyone else in the house is an American citizen. I know these cases in Chicago. I've met them. People who are willing to come forward at this point in their lives, register with the government, tell the government where they live, where they work, have a background check so that if they have any serious criminal issues, they're gone, stay in this country, pay their taxes, pay a fine for being undocumented, learn English, and wait 13 years at the earliest before they can become citizens. They go to the absolute back of the line. That's what our bill says. And that, to me, is a movement toward a solution of what we're facing today. What I hear many times are criticisms of this president. I will tell you, this president has been fully supportive of this effort for comprehensive immigration reform. I cannot tell you how many hours I've spent with him and so many others trying to work toward this goal. I know because he used to be my junior senator from Illinois and we're pretty close. I know that when he was going through the transition to become president, he invited Senators McCain and Graham to meet with him in Chicago before he was sworn in, and they talked about immigration. That's how important it is to this president. So those who would blame him or dismiss him for the current situation, it's not fair. He supports comprehensive immigration reform, and he said to the House of Representatives and the Republican leadership that he will step back in terms of doing anything on an executive level and give them the opportunity to do what they're supposed to do. Call this matter for a vote. We're praying they do it before the end of July because we're running out of time. In just a few months, there'll be an election, and then a lame duck session between the election and the new Congress, and not much can get done in that period of time. So the president has said to Speaker Boehner and the Republicans, move the bill. So when I hear the criticism of some of the terrible injustices in our current immigration system, I think we ought to be very honest that we have passed the bill, a bipartisan bill, a comprehensive bill in the Senate, and it has been sitting in the House for more than a year. More than a year. Last week, the Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security, Jay Johnson, was kind enough to come to Chicago. I invited him. I wanted him to see the Broadview processing facility where those who are about to face deportation are held. It's a grim reminder of families that are being broken up right before our eyes. And I wanted him to also meet with people in the Muslim community, in the Syrian community, in the Hispanic communities, and talk about immigration in America today. He was kind enough to do that. Along with my colleagues, Congressman Luis Gutierrez and Bill Foster, we visited the center, and we met in the detention cells a 51-year-old man who came to the United States at the age of 6. He has 3 kids who are U.S. citizens. One now serves in the United States Army. Another is a police officer. Then in the visitation area outside, we met his mother, 80 years old, who was hoping to get a glimpse of her son before he was deported. This is the human impact of immigration laws and policies. Mr. President, the House of Representatives has a chance to fix this and many other problems. We can move together to stop this horrible humanitarian crisis at the border with children. We can move together to deal with the undocumented among us who will step forward, pay their taxes and their fines, learn English, go to the back of the line, and wait their turns. We'll be a better country if we do. I hope the House Republicans will take up this responsibility. If they have a better idea, bring it to the floor and vote on it. But if not, call our bipartisan Senate bill. Let's fix this broken immigration system. Let's move this country forward.